Hello, guys. I'm really happy to have Rolando Samson here. Man, this guy is a beast, one of the best black belts in the world. Rolando, it's a pleasure to meet to have you here, man.
Thank you. So I'm very honored. I'm a big fan of what you're doing for
Thank
your
you.
country and your people. So it means a lot that you reached out to me, some like American kid.
Let's start, man. I want to start one question, personal question. Why you decided to do a little break after a good season as a brown belt?
Hmm.
You you
Yeah.
get the black belt, but you make a little stop? Why?
Yeah. So throughout my whole color belts from blue to purple brown, I was going to school full time. So I was only training like 3 times a week with Professor Andre. So my goal was always to get a college degree. And I was the first one in my family to do so. So, and that for me kind of like set off like a chain reaction for my family. So, like my cousins started going to school. One's graduating high school today in Vegas. So, then they're gonna go to school. So, my goal was to finish college and get my bachelor's degree. And it was gonna be done regardless. So I might as well just knock it out and finish it right away. And that was ultimately why I took a break from jujitsu. But I was still competing, but I wasn't doing well because I was working, I was
Yeah,
going to school, and a lot of stuff going on.
I remember you killing a lot of tough guys, man. Just training
Hmm.
three times a week. It was
Hmm.
crazy. And now
Yeah.
you have your family, a kid, and how this change and impact and make impact of jiu-jitsu career.
Yeah, so when when I found out I was having a baby, nobody really gets it, You're like, I don't know what to do. I don't know how I'm gonna live or this and that or support my family, but I think when I found out I was having a child and my life kind of switched, that this thing in my mind switched and it made me take things a little more seriously. You know what I mean? So when I yeah, when I had my daughter, I was like, okay, do I want to do something I don't enjoy doing, like doing uh like I enjoy it, but I don't have a passion for it, or do I want to do something and God willing sacrifice a lot to do jujitsu, which I've done my whole life. And with that, I was able to commit fully to jiu-jitsu, and I have the blessing to have my wife who stays at home with my daughter and helps raise her. And it literally made me focus a lot more. Like it put things into perspective where like, okay, you have a kid. How are you gonna help this kid survive? How are you
Yeah,
gonna feed this kid? How are you gonna mentor this kid? And all this and that. So with having a kid, it's hard, man. So I give a lot of credit to the parents out there, especially my parents, and because without our parents, we wouldn't be here where we're at right now. Like you wouldn't be where you have this beautiful platform for
yeah,
you and your people, So with that, it helped me to shift my mentality and be more focused, I would say.
nice. And and have a family and work outside jiu-jitsu make a different vision. How do you see the competition now? Is more you feel more a little pressure or more pressure to win the tournament? Change a little bit. How do you see the competition now?
I feel like I have less pressure, to be honest. The reason being is because at the end of the day, whether win, lose, I will have my family regardless, and I fight for me and my family. Like I have the Atos on my back. I represent Atos, and I
Yes,
fight for the team. But when I'm out there, I'm fighting for me and my family. So with them, I don't have pressure, like they will always be with me. They're riding with me,
yes,
So I'm very blessed to have them, and yeah, I have no more pressure. I feel more relaxed than I was at like
nice.
a blue belt, purple belt.
And Megaton say when the fighters is happy, he is more dangerous, right?
I agree,
You
and that's
feel
one thing.
this?
Yeah, absolutely, and that's one. Shout out to Megaton, right?
Yeah.
But that's one thing Professor Andre has been telling the color belts now and every like the new up and coming kids, like you need to be happy. Don't be angry and stressed because if you don't have that flow mode, you're gonna be like all over the place and you won't be able to showcase what you can do. So being more chill, I want to say more chill, but more steady and calm and know where you are, it's made such a difference.
Yes. And Rolando, is your second word as a black belt?
Yeah, second. It's
Yes.
my second one.
And
It's
man,
crazy.
How are you feeling before your second word as a black belt?
I feel more than ready, more than excited. It's like I was very sad when I would see people compete. Like I was in the same class as like Izaki Baenzi and like all these guys. And to see Izaki win world, Gabriel Arges win worlds, like I was happy for them, but at the same time, I was like, man, I want to be out there. But and now seeing a new generation come into play, it's like, okay, let's do this. So I'm very excited. I'm very eager. Pans was like putting my foot in the water to see how it feels. Now
Yes.
Worlds, I'm like, let's go. I'm in here.
And how do you analyze your comeback to the competition? How you feel? What's change you make from the last words for now?
Mm. Yeah, so I feel like a lot has changed. I feel like I'm more mature than I was when I was 21. I'm 28 now. I'm still young,
Yeah.
and I'm more mature and I'm more understanding of what I can control versus what I can't control. Because
So
before I'd be like, oh man, what if I can't do this? What if I can't do that? Versus now, like whatever's given to me, I have to accept it, and then I go forward after that. And again, being with Professor Andre, one of the greatest of all time, he's truly been a true mentor for me, and like with my comeback into what we will see next week at the
yeah.
pyramid. Yeah.
And you're going to do a medium division. How do
hmm
you analyze this division, man?
It's tough, man. Like middleweight's always been one of the toughest divisions.
Yeah.
So I've been fighting middleweight since I was a brown belt, and I'm very excited. There was one when I was a kid. I'm still a kid, but but I have to say that because when I was people are a lot older than me. They've experienced so much more. So I
Yeah,
have to say
yeah.
I'm a kid. Yeah.
You need
Um.
to do this.
Yeah. So it's. I feel like the middleweight division it's a nice middle between like lightweights and heavyweights. There's different styles. Like with the
Yeah.
featherweights, a lot of them are kind of like pull guard, light feather and below you, they all pull guard, like to play guard. Unlike like Marcio Andre, where he's like he loves passing, or like Hokage, he likes being all over the place too. And with middleweight, that's where like the big boys start coming in.
Yes.
There's either like pressure passing or they like loose passing. So it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be very fun, and I'm very eager to step out there on the pyramid again, and it's the lights shining down. It's been a long time, so I'm very excited.
And Rolando, what's make your game different from another fights in the division?
For me, I like attacking. Like I feel like with jiu-jitsu, it's fun when you like just go. Obviously, you need a game plan. You need to know when to slow down. You need to know when to speed up. But with me and my game, and how I like to fight, I give it my best. Because if I don't give it my best, then I feel like I failed. And one of my biggest things, I don't want to fail. So if I fail trying my hardest and my 100%, then so be it. I'll go back home, back to my family, and back to the gym, redraw everything, and then we'll go from there. So, but yeah.
Let's go! Can't wait to watch you the next week. And I want to know your opinion about some topics.
Yeah, of
This
course.
time, this time we don't. Meregal is out. He don't go to compete at Worlds.
Mm-hmm.
And he's a current world champion, but we're going to know a new absolute champion.
Mm-hmm.
For you, who's going to be the new absolute black belt world champion? I
Either
know it's a good
Kainan,
question.
yeah. Either Kainan or Lucas.
Yes, man.
Kainan, Lucas, or Gustavo. Yeah, I'm riding with my boys.
Tell more about what you see at the gym about these three guys training.
Mm-hmm. You know silverbacks, right? The gorillas. That's what I see like every single day, you know. But it's like with those guys, they train hard. Everybody trains hard, you know. Everybody has their own perspective of training hard. So I can't say that we train harder than someone else because that can't be true, you know. But the way they work and how they do things, it's so inspiring, and the way they're just so that they're so high level where like they do the smallest thing, and it's just like it blows my mind. You know, I've been doing jiu-jitsu since 2005, and to see how people continue to try and get in between that little line, it, it it's something special. So with those guys, it's like they need space on the mat because
Yes,
they're gonna be all over the place.
big boys, man. I
Yeah,
so happy to see Lucas come back to fight
me
jiu-jitsu
too.
one more
Hmm.
time. This guy has a lot of work to do yet here.
Yeah, he
Can't
does.
wait. He can't
Yeah,
wait.
me too. And it's cool, you know, like he just opened up a gym in the Northwest, you know, in Oregon area. So uh that's been his challenge as of lately. So but luckily he has his brother and his team there to help him. And now he's training with us for the next week, 2 weeks to sharpen before Worlds. And yeah, I'm very excited to see these guys work. So to do their thing, you know. We had a very good camp. It was one of our best camps in a long time.
Yes. And Rolando, what do you think about doping in jiu-jitsu? And would you make any change at the doping test?
Yeah, so for me it's like I personally don't agree with it, but people have their own opinions and their own it's their life. I can't do anything about it. Like
Yes.
me, I'm gonna fight clean no matter what. God gave me my body, so I'm gonna use everything I can at my disposal to just work hard and go the extra step to stay my body type. You know, everybody has their own decisions. That's theirs, you know, but my decision is to fight clean. And again, I don't care. Personally, I don't care. If you're gonna do it, you're gonna do it. I'm gonna try and beat you regardless. And if I beat you,
Yes.
that's your fault, you know. But it is unfortunate that we have this kind of topic and everybody always does this with each other, you know, and it's like, because that's the thing too, like I used to work in physical therapy, right? So with doping with people like who for performance is different from like people who use steroids for to stay alive, you know.
Yes.
So I have different conceptions of steroid usage, but the way that our sport kind of uses it, it's for them. Again, I can't judge anybody. I'm not God. I can't judge them.
Sure.
So preferably I like everybody to be clean, to be honest. Like but but people have their ways, you know. They work with
Yes.
doctors, this and that. But again, it's their choice. It's your life. I'm not I'm not your dad. I'm not your God. So but me, I'm team natural, so I got a lot of work to do, but it's a lot more fun that way. And I'm very grateful again God gave me this body and this opportunity.
And jiu-jitsu has growing a lot of
Hmm.
years. How do you see jiu-jitsu in the next 5 years, 3 years, 5 years as a professional sport? How do you see?
I think with people like you who are doing this type of thing, like it's only gonna catapult it even more. So that's why I wanted to say thank you in the first place because like man, I was looking at your page the other day and then I'm looking at your numbers and I'm like, holy, you know, like look at this guy. He's
Thank you,
killing
brother.
it, you know, and it's like and it's a lot of work on your end. You know, like nobody knows the time, like how late you're staying up, like trying to get people to respond. Man, trying to communicate with fighters is so hard because they
Yes.
suck at responding, you know?
Yes. Yes.
It's so hard.
Sometimes it's so hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. So I think with your work and what you're doing, is making what you're showcasing us and our work because we're athletes, we're fighters. We don't know we're not too good at like marketing and stuff like that and sharing stuff. But when you're on it like how you're doing it, it's gonna make it a lot easier for us to shine. So if we have good people like you who are genuinely want the sport to grow, I think it'll be good the next 3 to 5 years. And I'm hoping that it stays positive. You know, I personally don't like the bashing and like talking crap. I get it, it sells, you know, but for me personally, it's a martial art first for me. So I'm hoping it stays clean, you know, but who knows from the future? All we can do is right now. So
Yes.
yeah.
Let's see. I can't wait for the jiu-jitsu growing more as a
Hmm.
professional sport. And man, let's talk more about you. What you like to do outside jiu-jitsu, Rolando?
Man, so when I'm not in the gym, I'm like that's why I thank God that I have the life I have because my daughter can come to Atos. Like
No.
like if you see during the ADCC camp, my baby was there every single day, you know, and like I'm very grateful that my family can come with me to train. But outside of jiu-jitsu, man, I love hanging out with my family because we don't have much time. Um, I like barbecuing. Like I know you guys like doing churrasco. Like I kind of do something
Yeah.
similar like that. Yeah, you know, you guys chill, go to the beach, barbecue, you know, hang around. Like I love doing that, spending time with my family. I like to eat, you know, so I like going to restaurants with my wife, you know, and I like traveling. Like if I can travel what when I can, I feel like traveling is one of the best teachers in life. You know, because Americans have no idea. I won't say all, but a lot of Americans, especially young ones, have no idea how it is in like your country versus
Yeah.
here. You
Yes.
know, the way you guys have to work is so much harder than what we have here.
Yes. Big
You
difference.
know, it's huge, you know, and I feel like experiencing stuff like that, it makes us better as people and humans, and we're able to share that with others. That's why jiu-jitsu is cool, you know,
Yes. Yes.
all over the place. It's all over the place.
Did you visit Brazil or not?
Man, never, man.
You need to
It's
come
so
here, bro.
I do need to go. I maybe next year I'll be in Brasileiros. We'll see.
Nice.
But yeah, so that's in the plan. So God willing, we'll be in Brasileiros 2024.
What do you know about Brazil? What do you know about Brazil?
The people are cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like for me, I feel like I'm in Brazil every day. You know, I'm around Brazilians every single day, all day.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah, you know, it's just we're just in a different setting. But I know the food there is better than it is here. I know it's a completely different, it's so different, you know, and I won't ever be able to know exactly until I go to Brazil. But my first ever professor, he was from Sao Paulo. He trained at like Sul Jiu Jitsu back then. And then Fabio Santos, I trained with him too, under him too. He was in like I don't know exactly where he's from, but yeah, man, it's just I don't know too much about Brazil, you know, but I just know that I love the culture. I love the vibes of the people, and I've been around Brazilians since I was like 9 years old. So
Yeah.
I still don't need. I'm still trying to speak Portuguese. I'm learning, you know,
What do you know in Portuguese? The words in
man.
Portuguese.
So it's funny, like when I'm in the gym, like coaching, I can speak Portuguese. Like I can say the time, I can say like which grips to grab. But if
Yes.
I go outside and try to speak Portuguese, it's
It's
so
hard.
bad. Yeah, like for example, like I have Brazilians in my building, right? And I'm like, "Oh, tenha bom dia."
Bom
And then
dia.
they start talking to me in Portuguese. I'm like, Oh shoot.
Wait.
Yeah. So
That's how I feel when I talk to an American. They start to talk so fast, and man, my mind is blown.
yeah, honestly. And people can talk fast, like both
Yes,
ways. Both
yeah.
ways they talk.
But I'm really happy to still improving my English.
Man,
It's
your English is so good. It's very good.
I
Keep
I,
going, man.
I need to talk more interviews in English. The first one I bring here was Tommy, and my friend JT Torres was great.
I love
Was
JT. JT is
JT
a
is a
legend.
beast. Yes, man. And do you have a plan to fight Nogi? What you
Me,
think
yeah.
about the grappling scenario?
I love like for me I love like for me I like fighting. Like I love scrapping, you know, and that's another form of an art. And Nogi's a lot different than the gi, you know, and I'm sure you've seen it like gi guys try to transfer to Nogi. It's for
Yes.
very few it's rough for them. I'm not saying all of them, but sometimes it's a hard transition for gi guys to go to Nogi. But I love it. It's different, especially now that leg locks are starting to become more popular and everybody wants to do leg locks now.
Yes.
And but yeah, it's a different shift in dynamic. So
Yes. And my last question for you: what's your big plan now in Jiu-Jitsu? And you think to do some super fights?
I would like to eventually, eventually. That's why too, like it's kind of weird that I just got back onto the scene, you know? So it's like I'm still trying to relearn everything and like the environments of how everything works. Because again, us fighters aren't that good at like marketing or like
Yeah.
communicating, you know? So I do have some super fights in mind. You know, I would love to do some, and we discuss with my team, and if so, if it's right, we'll do it. So, but yeah,
And talking about marketing, I remember you did a lot when you was a blue, purple, and brown belt. And
hmm
how you see the jiu-jitsu scenario in this way, marketing? What's make the difference from the Americans and the fighters from Brazil? This way.
yeah. So one thing I noticed too with like social media is that there's trends, you know. So you have you have some people who like to do it this way, and you have some people who like to do it this way. But what I'm learning is like you have to be yourself, even on social media, you know. And unfortunately, that a lot of people hide their truth on social media. They lie and then this and that. But
Yes.
again, that's their choice, and you know. But I feel like people are taking it a little more seriously now that social media is like a currency, I would say. So but every day is a learning process, you know. Like sometimes you want to post something because you think it's not going to do well. You still got to post it, you know. You learn from it.
Yes.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes. Was
So
great.
what made you want to start doing, how long have you been doing journalism for?
Nice. And Rolando, what do you think about? I remember the other question. Sorry.
No,
Uh,
no way, no way, no way.
heel hooks in the gi. It's the
Uh-huh.
that's is that's a way to put more jiu-jitsu fighters. I sorry.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Yes,
saying. Yeah.
yes.
I think
That's
like
the way or not?
um that's gonna be a learning process. Eventually we'll find a way because like people can do heel hooks in the gi, you know, but I feel like it's gonna take time for it to be accepted into the game. You know, like you just can't put things right away, you know, because or there'll be like backlash, like everybody will protest or something like that. But I think in the future, I think heel hooks will start being allowed in the gi, you know, too, because I think so too, like with like the Senkaku in the gi. some people don't really understand the mechanics of it. So it's
Yeah.
hard for referees to know right from wrong. Like at San Diego Open this weekend, we had a teammate of mine. I wasn't coaching, but I was on the other side of the mat. And then he put somebody in the Senkaku. It was kind of like what happened with Kainan, you know, very similar, almost there, but not almost, like not the same. But he had him in the Senkaku. He went for the knee bar, and then he got DQ'd, right? Or before that, he had the guy in the Senkaku and he was attacking the other leg, the free leg, and he almost got DQ'd, but he brought another ref in and the ref said, no, it's fine. So I think over time it will be accepted because right now people are still learning how the mechanics are and how things work. I think that should be first because again, safety is priority.
Yes. Rolando, thank you for your time, man. I'm really happy. It's a pleasure to me to have you here. I've been following you, size and blue belt.
That's
And
crazy. Thank you.
that's crazy. I saw
That's crazy.
you fought as a blue belt, purple belt, brown belt, and now as a black belt, and make a chance to do an interview with you, man. It's big for me. Really,
It's
really.
huge for me. Yeah. So again, like it's been truly a pleasure watching your work build up and
Thank
doing
you
what
so
you
much.
do. The quality is amazing, and I just hope that you continue to do what you do, and I wish nothing but success and blessings and happiness for you and your family, man.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next time, brother. Thanks.
Yeah.
Fala galera, Henrique Secone na área, muito contente em estar finalizando meu primeiro instrucional de Jiu-Jitsu. Nós gravamos 5 módulos com muita coisa que vocês me veem fazerem nas competições, né? Muita coisa que vocês me veem fazendo nos treinos. Então tudo isso está bem esmiuçado, bem detalhado para você conseguir aplicar no teu Jiu-Jitsu. Fico muito contente em estar sendo o primeiro atleta a gravar com a BarraJiu Protect, uma plataforma que vai ganhar muito espaço no mercado do jiu-jitsu digital, valeu? Então não perde tempo, entra lá, segue a BarraJiu Protect, fica atento que tudo isso vai estar disponível logo para você.